I just sat down at the table, so. And we just have the only mic is at the table, so you shouldn't really be picking up anything too clear until I'm at the table.
I don't know about that guy. The funny thing about that guy is I think he's a better third baseman defensively than he is at hitting. He's actually pretty good. I think he's pretty decent. Yeah. The problem with him is he's been going to DL and missed like 40 games. Yeah. And he's just kind of eating himself out of the position. Bob Hanks. So which one? He's a good guy. You're scared to death when he signs that $25 million. And he wants 5 or 6 years.
Are you talking about Sandoval? But he hits better when he's fat. Like when he gets skinny, he can't hit.
I think some teams are going to be like, I'm not going to give you 5 years of 25 per. Here's what I will do. I'll give you 2 years at $80 million. I think it's both of them. 4 years, 16, 4 years, 75. What does they get tennis? He makes like 20. Yeah, he's like in Pablo won a tennis money, right? Yeah. Is that what you're saying? Right. But and this is what will happen.
Okay. I can boost it. I can monitor it in production truck too, and then boost it if necessary. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Bye. Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to give you buzzers, but I will give you a 2-year, $80 million contract. Like, I'm not going to pay you $120 like I'm eating the last 2 years of it, but I'll give you more money. Well, they love him. You know, he's like a part of their family. Would you give him 3 for 60? And he earned. If he won't take that, he won't take 3 for 60. He wants like 5 for 1. No, he won't. He won't do 4. I think would be the minimum. Even that. If he takes 4, it's going to be 4 for 100. You would have to be high for 2 years. I think about it as somehow that's a different team. Well, they don't have anybody else. They got nothing. They have to go sign in a bad cry. Third baseman have to go sign somebody else to probably get him over that. What is it about? How do you sell it to your fans? You won 3 World Series in the last 5 years. And you're losing a big piece. They love him. Like he is the giant. Like they gave Winston all that money simply because we won and people like him. So he was already on the third line. And he comes off the books next year, doesn't he? Yeah. They're already talking about they'll say we'll pay 11 to 17 million. I think make him a leader. He could be. He should be. I think they started. Yeah. Probably be a fifth start. Yeah, I think he reinvented himself at the club with it. Last year, 2 years ago, he was called the yeah. I'm sure this year he got one game pitched. I don't know if this stuff. Because I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys that like all of a sudden was like, oh, I'm back to 95 now. No, like I think his arm is so. I think maybe he goes up to 92. But I don't know. You might be right.
The thing I don't get is how it's like 4 or 5 years. Chase Headley was like every break. It was like the Yankees might go Chase Headley. Now as you come, like I don't understand what's so great about Chase Headley. And then the Yankees trying to sign him. I read the Red Sox trying to sign him.
Chase Headley was saving the money 2 years ago.
But that's what Sandoval is.
Just so few third. Yeah, that's the thing. There's enough. That's why. That's what I'm saying. If you're the Giants and let Sandoval go, then you're going to have to turn around and try to get Chase Headley probably $18 million a year. Why are there no more power hitting third basemen? That used to be the easiest thing to find. Was the guy that could get you 25 bombs a year for third base. Not there. Everything's sick. All cyclical. We're going to good shortstop. We're going to get in there. Yeah. Good at them. I would probably say the same about your base.
But it's worth it. Like you told me, my reputation would be staying. I'd sit out 50 million and then come back and make 4 or 5 million.
Because we got Corey Seager coming out to their own. Yeah. That's why they couldn't be signed. Polian just wanted to top.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, he's good, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Are you going to open the joke?
What's up? No, I'm not going to open up with a joke. Sorry. Last time that happened, it was bad. We missed the joke. So, are you getting anything, Alex? Yeah? Okay, cool.
too. Are you actually doing it for total, or just like a side project?
No, I'm doing this for my preschool stuff.
Oh, yeah. Early advanced students.
Yeah, exactly. Never start too early.
Yeah. So why are they buying store brands of that over? friends at the student paper taking the day off? No school, no work? Okay, it's good to be back with everybody. Haven't seen in a while. We're back at full speed now after, working through the bye week last week. We had a team meeting last night coming off the bye, and then about an hour and 15-minute practice in Mackey last night. Obviously, schedule's a little bit different, but it's good for us today with there being no classes. We've gotten a little bit more time with the players than we normally would on a Tuesday. I will be very honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of talk around the program right now about the fact that we got to the bye at 6-3 and bowl eligible and in the mix in the Mountain West and all that stuff. But I refuse to engage in that conversation because our sole focus right now is Air Force and staying 1 week at a time, because that has worked for us thus far, and there's no need to change it. And frankly, we're not good enough to look past anybody. I saw something written that, this should tell you about the strength of Nevada's remaining games. The best opponent left is Air Force. Well, I'm here to tell you, Air Force is pretty damn good. 7-2 with victories over Boise State and Navy. They've won the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. This is a really good football team, incredibly improved from where they were a year ago. They are playing with supreme confidence right now. I mean, that's the one thing that jumps off the film as you watch them on both sides of the ball. They are a confident football team right now. And it's easy to downplay Air Force because they are an academy and it's a novelty, and when they come out of the tunnel or when you look at them on television, they're not very big, but they are great at what they do. Offensively, they are scoring 31.7 points a game. They're top 10 in the country in rushing, averaging 282 rushing yards a game. And the thing that jumps out at you as compared to last year, they're throwing it for 150 yards a game and making big plays in the play-action game down the field. The slot back, number 7, Garrett Brown, is an explosive player. You've got 4 or 5 guys that rush the ball for 4 or 5 a clip, including Pearson, the quarterback, the 2 fullbacks, Johnson and Davern, and Jacoby Owens and Devin rushing. I mean, these guys scare me. The system scares me. And then when they do need to throw it and make a big play, you've got 6'3", 220-pound receiver Robinette out there is averaging 20 yards per reception right now. They are really, really good at what they're doing right now on offense. The other thing that jumps out to me on the film right now is that you look at, for example, the Wyoming game. You look at the Wyoming game, and there's a lot of conventional offense in there. In the Wyoming game, I would imagine that maybe 30% of what they did came from those triple option routes. They were running power. They were running, some more conventional stuff. As the weeks have gone along, probably over the last month, you see a concerted effort by Air Force to go back to their triple option routes. And with great success. I would tell you that 80% of what they did against UNLV was back to it looked like Fisher DeBerry. It looked like the old triple option routes of what they were running. And they're doing it very successfully. And frankly, that's what we're preparing for. Defensively, they're undersized like they always are, but they're tenacious. Steelhammer, the safety, is the guy that played the game of his life against Boise with a couple turnovers. They have a linebacker, Jordan Pierce, who leads the team in tackles, leads the team in sacks, leads the teams in tackle for loss, and is second in interceptions. And at 6'1", 215. I mean, he's a senior. He's played a lot of football. He's a ball hawk. I know they're not big, but they're going to play the 3-3-5 or 3-4. Which is I think that is, again, that's I don't want to say bodes well, but we've seen so many odd fronts now in a row with a lot of movement. But this is going to be another, they are not going to stand there. It's going to be coming from every angle, and they're going to be shucking and jiving. You got to go play them on the road. It's going to be a noon kick, which will be 11 a.m. on our clocks. I don't know what it's going to be like to play a game in the daylight. We might have to go through the hotel with an air horn trying to wake people up, because we're so used to playing the very last game of the night. So this is going to be an incredible challenge. It's going to be a disciplined game. Obviously, we had a hard time stopping them last year. We were able to hold on at the end. We scored some points, but I think statistically and personnel-wise, they are significantly improved defense. And our sole focus is on this challenge, and it will be a big challenge. It will be a big one. These are the kind of games that, go dating back to my Notre Dame days when we would see Navy every year and we saw Air Force a lot. I mean, these are the games that bother you all summer when you think about, boy, if they get that triple option back rolling again. Now, we got lucky that we had the bye week leading up to this game, so it bought us a couple extra days. And, Coach Boone's experience going against Georgia Southern and VMI, will help us too because he's seen this offense. But this is going to be a big challenge. And I'm not sleeping well this week. So it's kind of where it's at. Anybody got any questions?
I think you really like your quarterback because of his experience, what he brings, you can trust him to do everything right for the most part. Do you get the same sense in Air Force and Pearson who you've been behind center a lot now? And how important is that in that offense?
It's very important because the decision making by the quarterback is kind of it drives it, and frankly the ball handling by the quarterback in terms of giving it to the dive, pulling it, the pitch. He's and the thing. There are times when he decides to keep the ball, and it's he and a defender in the hole, and he has this uncanny ability to never get knocked backwards. He always ends up on an edge. And he falls. He gets tackled, but he falls forward for 4 yards, which is all they want. They just want to stay on schedule. 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, and keep rolling. And he's really, really good at running what they do. And he's a pretty good passer. He throws quick game. He throws deep balls. I mean, he's a better passer than people give him credit for. I mean, this game, I've seen this movie before now. I mean, the first year I was at Notre Dame and Navy came out of the tunnel, and I was as tall as half the slot backs, I said, what are we sweating this for? And then next thing you know, you look up and you're fighting for your life because they're so good at what they do. I would hope not. I wasn't around for the game in 12, but last year you would think it would get everybody's attention. It was a dogfight, and the reality of it is they should have won the game. I mean, they had a 3rd down and long, and we busted coverage. The slot's running down the middle of the field, wide open, and dropped the ball. We got lucky. I know that. Our challenge is to play with great discipline on defense this week, to stay on our feet, to not when they cut block you and then try and tackle you at the end of the cut block is to pick our feet up and not allow ourselves to get knocked down onto the ground. We're going to have to, this is going to be a big week on defense. It's going to be a discipline week, discipline week. So.
How have you used the bye week to your advantage?
We get 2 extra practices of strictly triple option. I mean, if they beat us throwing the ball or they beat us running power, God bless them. I mean, that's not what they do. So we got 2 extra days of triple option and veer and midline and all the different. I mean, we broke down the last 4 or 5 games. They've had nearly 100 different runs in terms of how they're blocking it. And, I mean, they've been doing it for 8-9 years since Troy's been there. And, normally you get 4 days to get ready for it. Luckily for us, we got 6 or 7.
Coach, last week we were talking about how important the scout team is for a game like this. Can you talk about how they've been preparing?
We actually sent them out a day early and got a walkthrough. Our GAs took the scout offense out last Monday night after we finished the meeting, and they began a walkthrough. We moved Asani Rufus, who was a triple option quarterback at Bakersfield High, who we recruited as a safety, but he's perfect. And as you watch him run it, I begin to wonder why they didn't recruit him because he's really natural at it. It's and I've emphasized. I said to the team last night, the look that the Scout O gives us might be the single most important factor in practice this week, and I said that to the whole team last night.
Is there a bigger respect factor when you play one of the military academies?
No. In terms of football?
The week, the game.
No. I respect the choice that they make from the big picture, and I have peers of mine that went to the Naval Academy or went to the Air Force Academy. I respect the choice that they make and the service and the commitment. I respect that, but and when they sing their alma mater out of respect, we will stand behind them and take our hats off, just like we did last year, win or lose, and that will be symbolic of our respect for the commitment that they make. But in the end, when it comes to football, no, it's a football game, and we're here to compete and win. And I can assure you, as I watch them block on the backside, I know what the rules of engagement are. They're trying to do everything they can to win, and so are we.
Are you at all concerned that maybe some of your guys have a certain level of respect for them? And
I think I took care of that last night. Nope. I respect the decision that they make. There's no doubt. The service and the commitment that they make demands respect. But that's where it ends. I mean, they don't get... When we get on the football field, we respect every opponent. But we don't respect this one more because they're at a service academy. We recognize that they're really good and it's going to be a challenge. But we're out there to try to compete and win. The one thing I do know, I do recognize the fact that football, we have guys, especially youngsters on our team, who get to football practice and they think that's the hardest part of their day. I recognize the fact that at the Air Force Academy and at West Point at Navy, football practice is the easiest part of their day. I get that. I also recognize the fact that they will probably never quit. They will never quit. Doesn't matter what the score is. I also recognize the fact that they will do whatever it takes to win. So,
why are they better defensively?
I think scheme. I think experience. The market improvement that they've made on defense it's impressive. It's impressive. I give their staff a lot of credit. I mean, I can't pinpoint it. They would know better than I, but all I can tell you is that looking on the tape, with most of the same guys, they're much, much better. I think they're also getting help in terms of offensively. They're not turning it over at the clip that they did last year, and I'm not sure that any academy defense is built to be on a short field. I mean, so I think it kind of relates to both sides of the ball. Oh, significantly. I mean, Austin Corbett, we shut down for the week. Both receivers, all three receivers were nicked up. Jericho and Richie had ankles. They both practiced fine last night. Hassan was dealing with a hamstring. He's back full strength. Matt Gallus is just an old, creaky human being that needed a week to get some oil into his joints. So I think, it came at a time where physically we needed it. Where we were going in terms of being on a routine and preparing well, and I almost kind of wished like we kept going, but physically we needed it. But I think last night was a good start. I was very pleased with the job that we did last night. I never felt like we had to reel people in. I felt like from the moment we took the field, guys were engaged and getting after it pretty good. I'm worried about the mental part of it because, just like I told them 3 weeks ago when we were 3-3, guys, you got to block out the noise. There's going to be a lot of negativity. We had lost 2 heartbreakers in a row, and if you listen to the people around, the ship was on the verge of sinking. Well, a big point of emphasis was we have to block out all that noise and just focus on the task at hand. Well, the challenge is the same now. And we've had a week off, and we're coming off of 3 straight wins, and now all the noise is great, and that's good. But now, bowl game and chance you might be able to play in a conference championship, we got to block that out too. And we had a week of it where there was nothing right in front of us, and you have that hovering, and I'm trying to make sure that nobody's buying into that we have to block out the noise no matter what and be focused on the task at hand, and that really has been a point of emphasis here over the last couple of days. Excuse me. Yeah, he's cleared. He's full go. He went through all the protocol and passed it and is in a good place, and we're very happy to have him back. But he was cleared full go last night. Yeah, I would say we still have some guys that are limited a little bit, but nobody that is out at this point. Yeah. I actually said that to Ben Anguish, our trainer, this morning. You look down on the injury report, and it's November 11th, and you say, you know what? For November 11th, we're in pretty good shape considering all the football that we've played. So we're thankful for that, and hopefully it stays that way for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I take personal responsibility for the long kickoff return at the end of the San Diego State game. We had the wind at our back. Brent wasn't feeling good, but he didn't tell us that. So Brent at full strength with the wind at our back, my thought was, why squib it and let a fat guy fall on the 30 when we should get a touchback and give it to him on the 25? Unfortunately, I did not know that Brent wasn't feeling good. And he got under it a little bit, and we ended up giving up a long return that I was not happy about. The punt return I wasn't happy about. There was a block in the back that the league office eventually said, that should have been called right at the point of attack, but, that does us no good. We got to cover kicks. Other than that, I've been very pleased. I think the last 3 or 4 games we've had either a long punt return or a long kickoff return that has put us on a short field. And when you can do that once a game and say to the offense, you don't have to go 80 now, you don't have to go 45 or 50, that's a really big deal. We got to keep that going, though. We got to keep that going.
Why is Alex Boyd so much better these last years?
Because I've stopped talking to him. Apparently, I make him very nervous. He was hammering balls in pre-practice. I would come out, stand 10 feet from him, and he would get the shanks. So Lester's just convinced me to stay away from him completely. And I said, Lester, you are aware that I will be on game day. I'll be there on game day. I can't go away on game day. But I think I think there were some nerves there, quite honestly. He went from a guy that was redshirting last year and punting the ball phenomenally, had a great spring. We kept saying to ourselves, boy, we're in great, no pun intended, we're in great shape here. And then as we got into training camp and his mind started to, boy, this is for real now. This is not junior college. I think he's just started thinking too much. And I think Coach Erb is a fantastic special teams coach. He's one of the best in the country. He's a great running back coach. And the fact that we have a guy here who's able to work with Alex and Brent and Tyler, and we've played well. Our backs are playing well. We're blessed to have a guy like that. And you can see the results in the areas that he's in charge of. And God bless the guy that's got to be my special teams coach, because that's not easy. It's like trying to be Nick Saban's DB coach. The last thing you want to do is coach the position that the head coach used to coach, because I can't help myself. I meddle, and he's handled it fantastic. So I am not. Am I? Can I? Okay. Good thing compliance is in the room. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever experienced a guy signing financial aid agreements before letters of intent. So this is kind of uncharted territory for me in terms of what we are and are not allowed to do. I think very highly of Ricky. I think whenever you can get a coach's kid, and I've known that family for over 10 years now, I think when you know what you're getting, I think that's a really big deal. I think his ceiling is through the roof. He's the most, in my opinion, one of the most athletic guys playing high school football in this area. You see his short area burst, his speed, his ability to use his hands. I mean, he's going to take some time to figure out how to play at this level. And then, frankly, you look at his dad and you say, all right, this guy's going to grow some still. I mean, Ricky looks like he could still play. So I'm so very excited that we get a young man like that in our family. And you know what you're getting. And I also think it's great that here we are for another year signing a player from Northern Nevada. And people would say, well, he's a carpetbagger. He moved in. He played his last 2 years at McQueen. And Ricky and his wife Kim are now ensconced in the community. So it's another local player that we get to sign and add to our family. Linebacker, whether it's that Sam Nickel outside guy, that kind of Brian Lane position, or if it's an inside guy. I think his body will tell us that eventually. But he won't play defensive end. He's not big enough. And we're not afraid of Oompa Loompas, but he's still not big enough. He's going to have to be a linebacker. I think he'll be a great special teams player early in his career because he runs so well. Oh, I can't venture a guess. I know that 15 spring practices and a summer conditioning program would make the chances better, but the players figure that out, not the coaches. Not at all. I kept him out of it. We didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. The first thing I did was ask Ricky Jr. if he wanted to be recruited by us, because if he did not, then I wasn't going to make anybody uncomfortable. When he indicated to us as a junior that he did want to be recruited by us, then I said in front of the whole staff, Ricky Sr. will not be involved in the process whatsoever, at least from our end, that we were going to only go through Kim, and that I was going to be his recruiting coach, so that it didn't put any of the other assistants in an awkward position. And Ricky drew interest. I mean, during spring evaluations, Boise State came through, Fresno State came through. All the people in our league came through to see him. And then when he made the decision, I think in the back of everybody's mind, when he said he wanted to be recruited by us, everybody kind of said, well, probably going to be with his dad. But, that was a unique recruitment. There's no doubt. Different.
Have you ever been on a staff where a played for?
That's a good question. I can't think of one. I've seen it happen all the time. But no, on my experience, unless I'm missing something, and I might be, I've not. It'll be interesting. He's coaching on defense, but he's not coaching him in his position room. I can't compare it to playing, but I always dreamed. One of the things, the people that say to me, the people that make the very easy statement, look at his career, it's only occurred because of his last name. I will always point to, hey, I have two brothers that have worked for my father. I never have. And I've been at some bad jobs. Now, had you told me I could work with my father at some point in my career, hell yeah, I would have done it. How many people ever get that chance? I would trade the criticism that comes with it for the opportunity to be on the same team as my dad in our chosen professions. How would you ever pass that up? I couldn't, because I love my father so much. It would be such a unique experience. I would imagine that Ricky probably looks at it the same way and says, how many chances do you get to be a Division I-A football player, and if you love your dad, get to be with him every day? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool. So for them, a pretty special experience, I would imagine. He's been a great recruiter. He's been a great recruiter, and that's important in this day and age because these kids talk to each other all the time via Facebook, via Twitter, direct message. He's been and that was kind of the role that Hunter Freilich took last year. every class kind of has a ringleader, and you can see Ricky starting to become that guy. And one of the great things is because he's Ricky's son, he's allowed to be around, so it's been good. That's it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
It's going to be a little bit different, for sure, but, I've played in some games that I've had some early starts. You just got to get a really good night's sleep the night before. You can't be up all night watching TV knowing that you're going to get a nap the next day. So I think the night before sleep is really big, and you just got to kind of bump up all your pregame rituals. I think the bye weeks are really good for health and physical reasons, but a bye week is pretty tough mentally. The one thing is it feels like an eternity since the last time you played. When you get back out on the field, the last time you got hit, it just feels like it's the start of the season again, and you haven't played a game in a while. The second thing is you watch so much film over, or at least I do, and I know the coaches do, and some of the players watch so much film over the course of 2 weeks that it's almost like you're trying to outsmart it, and you're thinking too much. And a lot of times when you think too much and try and do too much, that's when penalties and things like that can come. I think one, their scheme. They got some good blitz schemes, and they'll rush the passer pretty well. Their disguise is actually probably one of the best in the Mountain West. From what I've seen on film, they hold their disguise really long. They just fly around. A lot of their defense guys are bought into the system, and they won't quit no matter what the score is, and they'll just continue to come after you. Yeah, I think Coach Polian put it the best way is, the way I look at it is this is fun for them. Going out and playing football is fun, which obviously it's fun for everyone, but when they get a chance to go out to practice, and I don't know what their schedule's like, but I feel like I got a pretty good idea that that's fun for them to go out there, throw the ball around, and kind of hit people. Yeah, I actually just found out when I came down here, and it's an awesome award from what it sounds like. I'm pretty honored just to be part of the I think 10 finalists left, and to be the only non-Power 5 player on there is a pretty special feeling, and I'm happy that people have noticed me more off the field rather than just on the field.
Do you have more of a respect factor for these guys when anybody who's in the military academy?
Yeah, I think it goes back to they're doing things that a lot of people would pass up. I know coming out of high school, I wouldn't want to go into the service. I know it's tough, and obviously I want to play football my whole life. And for them to make that decision to go into an academy, it's a pretty big decision, and then the chance to play football while doing it is pretty special. Just the fact that they, like I said, football is fun for them makes them a lot tougher team. Yeah, I think to have a bunch of guys on a team like that, where when stuff gets hard, football-wise, they've seen stuff that people will never see in their life. The fact that he's seen one of his buddies, die is pretty, I guess, encouraging for you to other people. Like I said, it'd be tough for me to be in that sort of situation, but these guys are mentally tough. They're physically tough. And the fact that when stuff gets hard football-wise, they're just going to continue to battle, continue to fight because they've seen worse days.
You guys have been fortunate playing pretty good weather this year, but it's supposed to be pretty cold in Colorado this weekend. Is that a factor?
I think, we're kind of used to the cold up here, but I believe in 2012, that was probably one of the coldest games I've ever been a part of. And I know in the fourth quarter, some of the guys were really cold to the point where they're like, we're getting kind of blown out and we're just like, we're over it. So we got to keep the mindset right, not let the cold play a factor. It helped us out last against San Diego State being cold, so that they're going to probably be using it for their advantage. We just got to stay positive and stay together and stay by the heaters, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I see too much of a difference. I know playing there last year, it's honestly, they have all the signs and all the stuff to freak people out and get in their head, which is a smart tactic. But, just practicing in our elevation here year-round, it doesn't affect us too much.
Don, I guess you can address the physical, mental nature of the bye week. Your thoughts on that?
Physically, it's real good for for all of us. Everybody's not. No one on the team was 100%. Going into the bye week, so it gave everybody opportunity. Just kind of relax their mind, relax their body. It helps people out mentally. Have a weekend off, and just get to relax and go get some people on the team went to go hike. Some people went to go enjoy time with their family. So it helps a lot mentally and physically. Just it takes a toll off our body. I think it's because they move around a lot. They slant left and right a lot. A lot of movement on defense is what causes havoc in the backfield, and they do a really good job at that. So we just plan to go out there and to go do the thing, block it up as best as we can, and just go run at them. Every running back looks at that offense and be like, that's gift wrap present right there. But I think it'd just be fun to be in, just to get to run the ball like they do. But those guys get the ball a lot, like 30 carries a game, something like that around there. But it looks fun, they pound, and then out of nowhere something pops. So it looks like a fun offense. Because you have to really understand the stakes. As we win game after game, the stakes get higher, and that's our biggest thing, to not look ahead. Because if you look too far ahead, you can get hit in the mouth for something that's right in front of you. So we just try to do our best to just focus on the task that's right in front of us, because we understand that the stakes are getting higher and higher, and that's why we're not worried about Fresno, not worried about UNLV. Right now, we're about Air Force and nothing else.
Did you ever consider a career in the military?
Not for a second.
What are your thoughts about what those guys do? Obviously they go there to play football and do a lot of other things as well.
It's a big respect thing. I respect everything that they do. Just me growing up, that's not the life I really wanted or pictured myself doing. But I respect everything that they do. To go out there and go serve your country, that's a real big deal. And I don't think they get enough respect as they do. I feel like they need more. But personal standpoint, I respect them in a big way for what they do. Football-wise, we're going to go out there and play football.
Do you risk maybe losing a competitive edge because of that respect?
No, in a sense, I know what we're getting across from us. I know what the defense across me is trying to do, and I see that I understand that they're going to play as fast as they possibly can. They're going to play as tough as they possibly can, and just a competitive nature. That's what brings the best out of myself and the rest of the people on our team. We know what we're going to get in front of us, so we want to go compete. went to junior college in Iowa. I've played in wind chill of -7, -17. Like I'm not really worried about the cold. You know, about to play football, it'll heat up sooner or later. No sleeves. I like half sleeves just because I wear them when it's hot. But half sleeve or no sleeve, never full sleeve. Thank you.
Richy, how important is it for you guys to be able to help your run game this week? These guys obviously have done a pretty good job against the run so far this year.
Oh, it's always very important. We have a responsibility to Don and JB and any other back that comes in the game to block on the perimeter and make sure that they spring, because the run game will also open up our pass game.
Is this the first time how long has it been since your starting three wide receivers have been 100%?
I think it's been a while, but we're some tough guys. Hassan and Jericho, they're really tough guys, and I think we're going to go out there and play 100 like we're 100% no matter what.
Are you there now or close? Or?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty close. So mentally, we're there, we're 100%. But obviously, we're going to go out there and play no matter how we feel. We're going to go out there and play like we're 100%. All right. I think just leading up to the game, on the day of the game, will be the only difference. Probably just get into everything a little quicker, maybe sleep in a little less, which is unfortunate. But we'll get into the game. Day games are always fun because they end early and we get to go home. But I think I'm kind of glad we're playing in the daytime against Arizona, because the last time we were there at nighttime it was really, really cold. They're definitely more physically tough. They do a lot of crazy defenses, but I think they also take a lot of risks from what I remember and from what I've seen on film this week, and we plan on capitalizing on it. Yeah, I think so.
All four of the special teams seem to be playing pretty well right now. Obviously, you're taking comes back. What do you think the difference has been since the second half of the season?
I think we the special teams units. I think we all take pride in being trying to be the best special teams units in the nation. We all work hard in the film room as well as on the field, and we don't take special teams as a playoff or for granted. We all make sure we're going 100% in that and never taking a playoff.
You guys feel an extra kind of sense of pressure because your head coach is a special teams kind of guru?
There is a small sense of pressure, but I think he's just brought that element to this school and really put an emphasis on special teams, and it's rubbed off on us, and we really take it seriously now.
Did you hit a point at some point in the season where you went, okay, I really got this now, or we really got this now, punt return especially?
I think the guys on the punt return unit, I just talk to them during practice a lot more now, and I think just because the team has been more of a family this year, I think they really take pride in their blocking for me, and I really go out there and try and do my best and take pride in having great returns for them, because I know they're working so hard.
You think you've come close to breaking one, and I think Elijah's come close a couple times in the last couple of weeks. How badly do you want to take one back, or do you have a little competition going with Elijah?
No, there's no actual competition going on. I think we're just both doing our best, but I think we both want to take one back really, really bad. And it's been right there every time. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. we just got to get out all the bugs. But I think we're both doing a good job right now.
Coach talked about the need to, stay focused on the next game and pass the band. I mean, how tough is that when, again, being 6-3 and bowl eligible and hearing a lot of talk about possibly going to Mountain West Championship? I mean, how do you stay focused on the next game?
That's just been a theme for the past couple years. Obviously being bowl eligible and, other things are, great, and it's something that we know that can happen and we believe that can happen. But the only way that we can achieve those goals is if we play week by week and game by game. We have to play like every week is a championship game, and that's the way I think that we have been playing, and that's how we're going to get far this season, and we know that. It was really cold 2 years ago. But, once we get out there on the field, we're going to have hand warmers, Once we get to running around, I don't think that there's a factor. It's more, just sitting on the sideline is the coldest. Obviously, playing during the day is going to be a lot better. But once we get out there, get to moving around, we kind of just forget about the cold and are focused more on the game than anything. It's very rewarding. It's great to just see guys smiling and having so much fun after the games and after wins, and you can see the family aspect of it a lot. Just during the week, we all push each other so much more, and I think that's been having a big effect on the fact that we're starting to win, because guys are just playing for each other. Since the spring, we've all pushed each other, and it's showing up so much, and we can see that our goals are obtainable, and it just makes us want to push each other even harder, which is great. Thank you, guys.